Hi, for today's teardown, this piece of vintage French avionics from 1965. So it is called a calculator corrector for the attitude and heading system. I believe it works together with the attitude and heading gyroscope, which I have not one but two of them, and there is a teardown already available on my channel. Check the link below. It is, by the way, very interesting to see. So I just got this item from eBay. I believe it is a companion part for my gyroscope, so it is nice. It is the same brand, it is exactly the same year, 1965. So we have a box that big, with quite heavy, with 3 dials on the front, rusty handle, and what seems to be a test connector. The dials are for the transverse drift correction, longitudinal drift correction, and heading drift correction. So for each one of them you have a screw to lock, and you have a screw to set. So you modify your setting and then you relock for safety. So it compensates apparently drift for the gyroscope in order to have accurate measurement from it. So first I will zoom for you on this front panel. So here are the two top dials. Here you have the manufacturer plate. So it is made by Bezu SFIM. Bezu is, I believe, the name of the dude, and SFIM is Société de Fabrication d'Instruments de Mesure, so measuring instruments manufacturing company in French. They mostly made aircraft parts. And we have at the bottom the last dial. The handle, you can see, is pretty rusty. And here you have a connector behind a cap, but it is just stuck in place and very hard to undo. Okay, so now the side of the box, you have venting holes, nothing else. At the bottom just rails to install it on the airframe, and at the back one more manufacturer plate with main connector here at the bottom and air inlet for cooling. So on this plate the serial number is 2080. Does it match the serial number on the front? Yes. Okay. And in fact the wall cover here can be removed with undoing these 8 and plus 1 screws. So it is the next thing to do, obviously. So while I undo the screws, I was really happy to find this device on eBay, because it is matching my gyroscopes, and it is apparently some kind of an analog calculator. So it will be probably very interesting. I got it for 40 euros. It is not super cheap, but not super expensive for such a rare find, but I believe I am almost the only one on eBay who will actually purchase this anyway, so maybe it is still too expensive, not sure, because it is not a piece you can put as a decoration item in your living room or on your desk. So it removes most of the value. In fact, it has no precious metals probably inside, so not interesting also for precious metals. Very old components probably, so, and in quite a rough condition, as you can see, a lot of missing paint on the cover. It is not a big deal, but okay. So what do we have in this? I hope it will be a modular construction, then I should be able to remove other modules and show them one at a time with the overhead camera. So, are you ready for the reveal? Here we are. Need to undo this cover, excuse me. Okay, so apparently we have one top and one bottom section. Here is a first view inside. So electronic modules here, three mechanical units, electromechanical units, analog computing units probably. Here the stuff for the front indicators. Bottom side we have more electronics, a lot more electronics in fact. Okay, so I can see we have connectors here at the bottom. We have this metal rod here keeping everything in place. We have big screws on the front that could be possible to undo. And there, yes, there is connectors everywhere, so it looks like it will be possible to remove everything. So let's do it. So here is the overhead camera view of it. And before I start to remove screws, look what I found loose inside. Transistor. Interesting. It may be why this thing was removed from service. A loose transistor. The three legs are here with solder marks on it. It is a TUN549 transistor. No brand. So yes, obviously a very vintage one. Okay, so I will take everything apart and it will be easier to look at the parts after it. So let's start yes, with the front panel. Maybe we have 6 screws to undo on the front panel. Should be quite easy. I need a magnet. If there are magnetic screws, which is not always the case in aircraft equipment. Okay, we are good on this one. By the way, I do not know where I got this magnet, but this one is really strong, as you can see. So a good one. More screw here. So I hope it will be possible to disconnect easily the front panel. Oops, some dust even. Of course it is a temporary teardown. I will put back everything together after, because this thing goes in my collection. Okay, so we have apparently, yes, we have a DB kind of connector here. I can undo. They did put screws to secure it, oddly enough. No metal clips, screws, and they are not captive screws, so it is quite annoying. It will be more time consuming, but let's do it anyway. Okay, it allows to have a better look to these units, and at first glance they are all three exactly identical, except maybe this one has an angled connector and not the other ones, so maybe it will not be necessary to undo everything here. Now we have, let's undo directly this module. I see two screws here which are not the same, so I guess they are bigger, this one, they are loose by the way, almost. I guess, yes, loose. Maybe someone was already inside this before me, because the screws here, heads are not in pristine condition. And yes, easy enough. Okay, we will have a look at this later. So, the front piece here is die-cast aluminum, it seems. There is the remains of a seal, but in very sad condition. So here we have this metal rod which seems to secure together all the modules here. So interestingly enough, all these modules seems they are not PCBs, they are metal plates with Teflon standoffs. You can see here, for instance. Yes, no PCBs, but here we have a PCB. Why? I'm not sure. This thing is different. Actually, the missing transistor may come from here. I believe. Maybe here. I will maybe reattach it, not sure. Yes, the other ones have 3 transistors. So it must be this. Okay, so I did remove the metal rod here, and each one of the modules is attached with, I see a lot of stuff inside, it's just for my head. I see screws here, where? Here maybe? Yes, and here, and this is coming off. Okay, in fact I did shit a little bit, and I did already open it one time just to put some color marks on the different modules in order to help a little bit with reassembly. So first module is off, this one is the same. So let me fast forward a little bit. Okay, so while I undo this last piece here, one thing to notice, in fact, these electronic modules go directly to the electromechanical modules like so. So there must be control electronics for them. Most probably they are directly connected to it. And then the module is then connected back to the main wire harness. So we have a lot of screws later. The mechanical modules are connected with this, are attached with these screws here in rubber washers or gommets or whatever you want to call them, rubber pieces to dampen a little bit vibrations maybe. Here we are, so this is for later. We will first look at this main frame. So we have a rear part here, oops, my screws, with a main connector of an odd shape, as you can see. It is die-cast metal. This a lot of screws connected on it. Yes, they are not sure how to put it on camera. Here, all at the bottom, you can see they are terminals for interconnecting wires here. So we have aluminum parts welded together making the frame. We have a very nice wire harness, as you can see at the bottom here, very tidy. Most of the wires are actually coax, shielded with copper, as you can see, copper color. We have here bigger wires connected to terminals, so there must be an interconnect point. According to the size, I guess there might be power distribution. Yet I am not sure, I do not know anything. We have other big wires here. We have lock nuts here for the front panel with a nylon ring inside on very nice black anodized metal. Part of the way this main wire harness go actually to the front panel to connect the two last indicators which I did not remove. Here with plugs here, D sub plug by the way, back in the time already, on the front test connector on the front panel. I will try to move everything together, not to damage the wires. Other side, yes, obviously enough, the big wires we add are power distribution, because you can see the break here from big wires here, red, white, brown, to a lot of smaller wires here. One screw left here because it is attached by the, it is locked by the wire harness. Here at the back we had 4 modules. I did only remove 2 of them because they are 2 times the 2 identical modules. So there is no point at undoing every one of them. More yellow anodized here lock nut for the screws to the main cover. We have a little assembly here at the bottom with CSF Paris relay and power resistors, maybe some kind of a little transformer here, trim pot by Bones. All the good trim pots are made by Bones. Okay, and it is all actually for this part. So we will continue by having a look at the electronics, and I will start with this module, which seems to be some kind of power supply-ish module. This brown thing here, branded TSF, might be a transformer. A lot of wires going to it, pretty heavy. Yes, we have a fuse here in a regular, very crappy fuse holder, by the way. You can see nothing preventing the fuse from vibrating loose in the aircraft. And no, there is nothing missing. And very dirty contacts also. So this is not terribly good. Yes, the fuse can actually move a little bit, just by vibrations. So it may do random contacts. Not very impressive. Here we have captive screws to attach this module to the main frame. Coil here, only 2 wires going to it. We have here very old schools capacitors, by the way, by LCC, electrolytic capacitors, 82 microfarads, 40 volts. And we have what seems to be very old-fashioned diodes with glass body and golden tips. Quite interesting. And we have something left. Yes, here we have a time delay relay by ECE, which is another French brand of avionics parts, in particular switches, lights for cockpits, relays, also things like this. It has its own serial number of 14402. It is given for 28 volts of power supply. Golden contacts, it seems, here. And you can see wires here going to this part. So one thing I will do before we go to the next part is actually take my capacitor tester and see what we have on these capacitors. Maybe I will test the diodes also. Are they still good? First, is my battery in this still good? Yes. And we perfectly have a non-part here because bad contact. It just barely detects a capacitor and does nothing else. So is it just a bad contact problem, or are these capacitors really dead? I am not sure. Let's try a diode. The diode is tested weirdly, but it is detected. So let's try another model of capacitor here. This one seems to be a sealed capacitor, maybe of better quality. No, really no luck. So either it is because they are in circuit or really they are all dead. Okay, so this was the first part. Let's go to the next. We will go to the next bigger module, this one. So here we have, what do we have? We have a white balance problem first. Let me try to let the camera figure it out. Maybe it is better. So we have another transformer or coil like this. Two more of them here in shielded relay, here still by ECE company. Large connector here, DB25 it is written on it, and a whole bunch of extra capacitors. So you can see this is not a circuit board, this is a metal plate with Teflon terminals on it. Some trim pot here or potentiometer with a lock nut to secure it. More trimmers here, a whole row of very nice resistors here with military approval stamp maybe. So this is very common model of resistors in French 60s and 70s avionics. There is the same model in my matching gyroscope, and also I believe in my Mirage analog computers. Transistors here with little coils winded on the legs to allow cooling maybe of the legs, by the legs of the transistor. And the golden legs here, and they are branded General Electric. More capacitors. Here you always need more capacitors, and here some triacs or thyristors or something like this. 3 leg power device, 3 contacts. Okay, and you have a very nice schematic for the relay. And it is all for this module. Next with the electronics. So this the module that goes with electro-mechanical assemblies. Quite the same flavor of stuff, in fact. You can see same model of transformer thing here. Again the transistors here. Potentiometer with locking nut, and the other side is the same. So this piece, I'm not sure about the other one. Yes, it is a folded piece of metal, but here they did attach an extra part with rivets. It is for the safety pin. There is a locator pin here that prevents to insert it in a wrong place, probably. So it is in pretty sad condition, this part, pretty dirty, sadly enough. Okay, for the electronics we are left with 2 modules out of 4 which were located at the back. Still exactly the same kind of stuff. As you can see, we have leg bar square trimmer here, and a Contelec trimmer here in a nice golden aluminium package. Seems really nice, this part. And here, oddly enough, we have another model of resistors, maybe higher precision. The plugs are made by Sorio, and there is a label here to indicate where to insert it in the frame, I guess. Okay, so I have no clue of what all of this is doing apart from the power supply. It is totally mysterious. So now we go to the goodies, the electromechanical parts. We will start with this dial or indicator, or actually a dial you set and will feedback some information. So there is some motor assembly or resolver assembly, transmitter rather, by CSF Paris. Really common model. I have the same model in a tank controller I took apart a few time back for restoration, and which actually is going to scrap because it was in too bad condition. They are these ones, but they are made by Sagen, but you can see really similar design. So I will keep the synchros to play with them, do some experiments, but the tank controller itself is too far gone. I have no time to restore it. So we have the connector, we have the circuit board here, which in fact, no, it is not really a circuit board. Look closely. We have no tracks, we have solder pads and wires interconnecting them. So this thing probably was a lot of manufacturing work, as you can see. Components on both sides and handmade tracks. Interesting. It is attached with two little screws here, it seems. So if I undo them, I should be able to pull the module, and then maybe I am looking if I can or not reattach this transistor, which goes apparently like that. Yes, like that. Maybe in fact I can just glue it in place and it will be good enough. Interesting. Why it did come off, I have no idea. Because in fact, if I want to access the solders, I need to undo components here on the back. I am not sure I want to do it, so I may just glue it in place. Or just keep it removed. I will see. So, okay, we have obviously this transmitter assembly, and we have, conveniently enough, what seems to be a little access panel on the side, because I am not sure of what will happen if I remove the big screws here, so I will rather try with the access panel. So I have precision screwdriver here, two small precision screwdriver by the way. Let's try this one. Yes. So the screws are secured with some paint or lacquer or something like this, you can see. Blue, by the way. So what happens if I undo this? Yes. And as expected, we will just have gears. You can see here the locking mechanism. In fact, when you tighten this screw here, it will press here this washer piece or disc piece against the other piece here, and it will just lock it in place. Very simple design, very old school. I have seen it already elsewhere. And yes, in fact we have just one gear connecting the needle to the transmitter here. Okay, so this one was the first mechanical assembly, the smaller one, but as you can guess, now we have to look at the big ones. So I will continue with this. So you did notice we have 3 diodes on the front, we have 3 electromechanical modules, and it does 3 things. It does transverse drift, directional drift, and longitudinal drift. So just a guess that each one does one of the functions. Here we have 3 plugs, a mechanical frame here with its own serial number, and we have 3 units. This one has a nice schematic on the side, made by some Thomson CSF in France. There is even part of the address here in Issy-les-Moulineaux, near Paris, and it is written coordinates transmitter as the device kind. Here we have a generator motor made by Presilec in Paris, and here we have a synchro detector. Receiver, synchro detector receiver. Interesting. So I am not sure if I can or not undo the little screws here and reveal the contents. I am quite afraid it does a bad thing, so I prefer not attempting anything here. But what I can do, by the way, is undo these 2 screws, which suspiciously seem to already be undone. easy enough. The metal plate is bending out of the way. So what we have in this, make your guess. Yes, we have gears. Interesting because it looks like, so there are gears in two parts with springs. You will not see it on camera, maybe here. They are attached with springs for the backlash. There are no backlash gears. And it is fun because actually this one seems to be made in aluminium, anodized aluminium, exactly the same color than this. These ones here seem to be made in stainless, and this one here is in brass. Why? Nothing else in this, apparently. There is a channel here for the wires, here also, going to the other side, and it is all. Okay. Modification record here which was not used, and the number here matches the serial number. So here is it is a decal, it seems, and here it is handwritten. Hello dude, who did write it, or maybe woman. Okay, so I will put back this one together and we go to the next one. So next one is a little bit bigger, in particular with this huge item here. So on this side just again the three connectors, wires going through from a channel, in a channel, some little window here to actually allow to read out some measurement. And here we have this unit is written motor generator group, 400 Hz of course. We have a synchro detector transmitter, again, so 3 synchro detector transmitters and 1 motor generator. Everything linked together with gears, I guess. Let me try to undo at least the screws. Oh, this one. Okay. So, yes, as expected, same gears than in the other one, and same mix of metals, brass, stainless and aluminium. Okay, maybe there is something I can do. I can maybe first reinstall this screw. We had already one loose transistor, try not to have loose screws, but excuse me, turn. I have no fancy motor screwdriver, precision screwdriver for now, by the way. Maybe I can try to undo this cover here, because seems it is just a stainless steel cover with 3 screws, but no wires going through it, no proof it is attached to a bearing at the other side, so maybe it will reveal something interesting. It just reveals some rust on 4 more screws, and now we have wires going through. So yes, it is a 2 parts device obviously, but all the wires are going through here to the inside. So what is the point of this extra piece? I am not sure. Okay, I will put this back together and we will go to the last and bigger module. So here is the last one. Here we have a lot more connections. First we have this giant unit which is also a motor generator. Interesting. Here we have wires going here inside, and we have a back cover here. So let's try to undo real quick this back cover. Really look like expensive devices. Oops. Okay, no damage. And we have, quite surprisingly enough, electronics. Little circuit board with I see mostly resistors. Yes, I was not expecting this. Interesting. Very tidy work, as you can see, very compact work also. Some insulator here to for good measure, and Teflon parts also. Okay. And then we have here a board with just 2 resistors, one more synchro detection differential transmitter. We have here these 2 items which I have no idea of what they are. We have 2 screws going in, 2 wires going in, bigger screw here, and here we have this device with what seems to be a light, a bulb inside. So this is weird. Some kind of an optical feedback for movement. It looks like. So let me see if I can or not undo this thing. No, it seems it will not come off easily, so I will not tamper with it. And we have 2 more wires here, so I suspect we have a photo cell on the light, and there is some kind of an optical feedback. But first I will try to undo this. So yes, one more time, 14 millimeters wrench. You have no idea how useful they are in avionics. And this is just a cover, excuse me, going to a bearing for some reason. Really weird. It seems totally overkill. So I will open this side. No, which one? Actually this one, because here there is what seems to be the optical feedback. So we will see if it reveals anything useful or not. Not much. Oh yes, look at this. We have actually little shiny triangles on this part here. So yes, it is an optical feedback of rotation made with a light and a photo resistor or photodiode, most probably photoresistor according to how old it is, which actually might be this thing here. I am checking if it is doable to unscrew this thing. Yes, I will probably ruin the alignment, but anyway, this is not going to be used anytime soon, so not a big issue. Excuse me, I am too much zoomed like this. Very tedious assembly here because we have a washer at the back to accommodate the thickness. Okay, and here it is. So we have the bulb, and we have the extra tiny assembly here, which actually seems to be secured by this screw. And yes, oh, here it is. Not exactly what I was expecting to see. Seems to be a photodiode. Do you believe it can be so old photodiode? I'll see some kind of a square in this. We are in 1965. Do we already have photodiodes? Because in fact we have wires are two different colors. So if it was a photoresistor, my guess is that we may have two wires of the same color because they do not matter. But here, so it is also strange how it is not attached in place. You can see it can slide in and out. Here we have a screw to attach this what seems to be a copper or brass piece, but this component itself is not secure in place, and there is nothing preventing it to come back here and not being close enough of the target. Quite interesting. And here we have a better view of the piece it is looking at. Okay, apart from this, a lot more gears in this thing. As you can see, this one is pretty insane. Quite amazing. Okay, time to put everything together now. Okay, it is back together. One thing, the camcorder does not work with the stereo remote. Good thing to know. And yes, I did totally forget the transistor, the loose transistor. So what I will do, I will just drop it inside through the venting holes. It is probably a very correct way to proceed. So here we are for this thing. I hope you did enjoy this teardown of some weird analog calculator corrector thing from the mid-60s. I found absolutely no information about this on the web. It totally does not exist in Google. So it does not help to figure out what it does and how it works. Do not forget to check my video with the gyroscope teardown, because I believe it goes together with this device, and it is a gyroscope teardown is always very nice. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and check my other videos, because I have more than 1,100 of them. And see you soon. Bye bye.